Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of Educated Discussions.
All episodes are special.
Yeah, all of them are special. So this one's just a normal episode. So today we are reviewing Uncharted, the film. We never thought we'd see this day. Announced way back in, 2009 or something?
About,
2007?
Yeah. We were playing Uncharted 2 multiplayer or 3. I think it was Uncharted 2 multiplayer.
Talking about who should be Nathan Drake. Yeah. Well, we finally got it. And they got Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
Everyone's first choice.
Yeah, sure. And we got the guy they initially cast as Nathan Drake to be Sully, which was Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, he was initially.
That was rumored.
David O. Russell directed. But anyways, so a little bit of backstory here for the 7 people we have listening.
9
people we have listening. Forgot our wives. Me and Elmo here. Very big, huge Uncharted fans. Some
would argue me a little bigger than you.
That is false. Let's see who has the most collectibles.
Most what?
Collectibles.
How about this? There was a previous podcast where I had Felipe choose between Kratos and Elena on a beach, and you should go back and see who he chose.
That's true.
Yeah. So
the link to this is right here. I don't even know. I probably
are you going to put the link?
I probably okay.
On the YouTube version.
Yeah. Follow us on TikTok to watch the short version of that clip. Anyways.
Oh, that is one of the Tic Tacs, right?
Tic Tacs, yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna here to just give our quick reactions. This is coming from 2 big fans, and we haven't talked about what we thought because we were supposed to go see this film together, but you had other ideas.
We ended up seeing it. We ended up seeing it pretty close to each other. It seems.
Was it anyway? Did you go to the same theater?
I mean,
go to the Regal.
Yeah.
Now they know where we are at. Anyways, I haven't heard your thoughts yet. Let's just start with it.
We should mention spoilers.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do spoilers. We're gonna talk the whole film. Spoilers, what we think about it, how it compares to the games, and just overall.
And how
thoughts.
does it stand as a movie itself?
How does it stand as a film? What they got right, what they got wrong, what they can improve, and a certain casting choice that we will discuss later on. So I think for this one we should kind of switch it up than how we usually do it. I think we should probably start with our score and then kind of dissect, since we're not really going over like the plot and everything.
Okay.
We'll start with that way. So first give your overall thoughts and then put a little stamp on it.
Okay. Now, why am I first?
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
A film that wanted to impress the masses by adding nothing complicated to anyone's thoughts in the audience. Okay. Simply like a good old fashioned, like you're here, it's the summer, you're watching a movie, here's some popcorn, throw it in your face.
Wait, did you have popcorn?
I did.
I did too.
I got a refill and I had some the next day.
Oh, okay.
You've told me that it's the preferable.
Oh,
anyway.
Yeah. But I'm on a diet right now.
Okay.
So I'm one of those idiots that throws it away, even though it's not done at the end. And I have to be one of those people
Respect
though.
Yeah.
Committed.
Movie though.
Yeah.
It was, it reminded me a lot of like movies before Marvel came in and kind of took over everything.
Yeah. Solid. Okay, I don't want to put words in your head. So elaborate.
I like giving scores out of a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 3. It kind of just exists. It does nothing that I think helps it exceed beyond an average film, but it is not like insulting to me at all.
Okay.
I mean, there are parts where I'm like, really? Well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But I never was too upset with it, but it always wanted more.
Okay. What were your expectations for it? Like in the very beginning, like, did you did you think this was going to blow you away?
No, I did not think it would blow me away. And I mean, the games are such theatrical like pieces anyway. So
right.
It felt like almost pointless to do an Uncharted movie because the games are that just longer. And hey, you like that one airplane scene? How about if we take control away from you? Now that's a good scene, right? Like that's just what it felt like.
I mean, that was a good scene, even in the film.
The trailer sure edited it to make it seem like that Scottish guy was in the airplane.
Oh yeah,
I remember thinking, I was like, oh, that's here. Huh?
Right.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah, that's the same thing, but whatever. It looked, it was all metal. It looked like
I mean that's really irrelevant in the grand scheme. But okay. I liked it enough to be like, they did a movie, and I would see another one. They didn't hurt me.
Okay,
but I do have problems with it and some positives.
Yeah, which we'll discuss
educatedly.
Sure. Okay then. As you sip your Sprite, what was your score?
3 out of 5.
Oh yeah, you're right. You just said that.
Yeah. So now it's your turn.
Okay, my turn. Okay.
Would you use a 10-point scale with 0.5s in between?
Yeah, I use the much preferred and better scale, which is out of 10 with 0.5. So 20-point scale. Okay. I am very in tune with your thoughts on this film. So,
that's not often.
Yeah, it's not. I did not have high expectations. Once I saw the direction they were going, who they cast as Drake, who they cast as Sully. Once I saw the trailer for sure, I was like, no mustache, except at the end, which we'll discuss later.
Dumb.
Once I kind of saw what they were doing, I was like, okay, I know what this is going to be. So once I properly set my expectations, I had a decent time at the theater. Like you said, the popcorn helped. The frozen Pepsi we had was good too. So it was a summer movie, like you said before. Like I think what I was trying to get. In
February.
Yeah, it was a summer movie, but in February. It just had the feeling of like a summer blockbuster piece. And I know what you were trying to say earlier with the Marvel comparison, how Marvel really upped the ante, where now when a Marvel movie comes out, it's like an event, kind of, especially those big tentpole ones. There's like just overall buzz, discussion, people freaking out in the theater, cheering, all this stuff. That's not really happening here in this Uncharted film. Right. Some laughs here and there, some gasps when a certain character did something, but that's, nothing crazy. So I see what you were saying. So yeah, overall, my expectations weren't very high. I enjoyed the film for what it was. If I had to give it a score, 6.5. It was okay. Almost good. I wouldn't.
That seems low.
Yeah.
But I think just with your scale, I think more of like, it's not like 7 is like equivalent to my 3 kind of feeling. But that's not how you look at it. So.
Right. Yeah, that's why my scale's stronger. But anyways. Okay. So now that we kind of got our feelings out the way. So ultimately, like
out the way. Dude, that was integral to the discussion.
Of course. So now that we kind of know what we're thinking of this film, now we can kind of dive in and elaborate on stuff that we liked, didn't, hated. I'm sure you have some stuff, as Mr. Negative, but
not if you listen to the last 7 casts.
That's not true. Anyways, now let's get into it. Let's start with I know you like all this negative talk.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with positive.
Let's start about what they got right. You want to begin?
No, you begin. Because now I'm struggling to.
They used the Uncharted theme a few times. And each time.
Oh, yeah, I was giddy.
Hype.
Yeah. It's not like the Mulan.
But that was the only time the music was good, which is, I mean, I guess I can talk about what was bad. The soundtrack was terrible. Like I don't remember any of it besides the Uncharted theme. So, but we'll stick with what's positive for the moment.
Yeah, I'm the negative one.
Yeah, well, I just
you got negative and the positive.
I just feel bad as you're known as this negative person. So I'm like, let me take some of that blame. We're a team on this. It can't just be, you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, enjoyed the music. The set pieces were pretty good.
Yeah, they were.
The the old ones that we are aware of, and from Uncharted 3, and even the new one with the pirate ship. I thought that was pretty good.
So dumb, but
It was dumb,
I was fine
but,
with it.
but
I was fine with it.
I feel like it would. You could see that kind
Very
of happening.
Fast and Furious, like
Yeah.
This is some nonsense happening. Okay,
That person, when that guy fell off and hit that rock, the whole theater was like, ooh.
I'll jump to a positive real
Okay.
quick. It's just so we could save your goodness.
Okay.
Because you have more.
Mm-hmm.
I thought when I first heard about Antonio Banderas, I was like, whatever. But I thought he fit in well because Uncharted's never had like very strong villains. They're kind of just pieces to play off of him. And I thought that he was like, he fit within what I expect out of an Uncharted villain.
Right.
Obviously, they decided to go for something shocking.
Yeah.
And I was definitely like, I was shocked. But afterwards, I'm like, the film feels... Anyway, I'm getting negative.
No.
No. I'll save that for negative because I'm going to go on a rant there. But I thought, the dude killed his dad.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty bad.
Mom. Like, gee, like, you want to
Not
say...
him. He got...
Right. He sat in the front seat. He was literally driving that scene.
He was driving, yeah.
Maybe they were parked. But it was... Like, they sold me as like, this is a bad person.
Yeah.
This is a very bad person. And just hearing Puss in Boots go on about the treasure.
I couldn't stop thinking about Puss in Boots.
I was ready for more of him. And I
was kind of sad that they ended him like that. I get it. That actually is going to lead into one of my positives on this. Uncharted has been known to have some, I guess really mainly Uncharted 2 and... Oh, wait, no, actually, no. Uncharted 2, there was a fake out of 3, and then Uncharted 4. They all have a lot of double crossing happening. Now, 2 specifically with Chloe, which is one of the positives I have here as well. A lot of double crossing. So I'm going to lead into it, but ultimately, one of my positives was Chloe. The Chloe character for the story that they're telling here and the vibe that they're going for, I think was perfect. That is as close as, I think, out of the 3 core groups they have there, she was the closest to what I would think of in the game. And they kept the double crossing thing at the end, her kind of having her own motive and directive and stuff, and not being a terrible person, but just like having to do what's right or for her. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, it led to her not being in the finale.
Which I'll get to the negatives. Yeah. But yeah, she was pretty good. But that was one of the things I liked about this film. They kept the double crossing thing, that the theme going. Like there's always like a switch up. Like, you know, Harry Flynn being bad. That one you find out relatively quickly in Uncharted 2. Chloe, switching, joining Uncharted 3. For a second, you thought Cutter was bad, but then it turns out he was good. And then in Uncharted 4, with Sam not really being the best person, but a lot of double crossing going on that it's famous for, and they kept it. And then not only did they do that with Chloe, but they kept it for Braddock, who is the fake Nadine, is what I have here, and I have her as a positive as well. She was pretty good. I just wish they just made her Nadine, like she was filling in that role pretty much. Yeah,
she pretty much was that.
Yeah, it's just like,
I mean, I guess if they killed her off in quotes.
Yeah,
so we didn't see a body, so anything's possible.
The ship fell on her. She's done.
We didn't see a body. You know how Walking Dead works.
There'd be no body left after that. But anyways, but yeah.
Oh, that works on both levels. There'd be no body.
Yeah, there you go.
No body.
See? Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Another thing to kind of jump from that is the thievery. I feel like for a game that ultimately ended with a title Among Thieves, Nathan Drake has always been called a thief, and yeah, he like steals like treasures and stuff, but like they never really showed him doing that. And I like that in this, when he was like at the bar, he was like, being a little scoundrel and stealing stuff. So I kind of like that they had like they made it a point to say like, hey, you guys are kind of stealing, so not, I don't know. I like that they focused in on that and that he was good at it. So that was one of the, just a small little thing. I was like, oh, okay, good. They showed that he was a thief, because in Uncharted 3, when he was like the little kid, they showed him trying to steal from that one museum or whatever in the beginning. So, but you never got to see too much of that. And there was never like a part in the game where you're playing as Drake, as the Drake that we know him, stealing something from somebody.
Right.
So the fact that
he'd moved on to bigger.
Yeah.
At that point.
El Dorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. So yeah, bigger. That was something. Anything else from you? I got some more.
I really enjoyed, I feel like Holland and Wahlberg really, I think as that progresses, I really like as much as I don't love that casting, I felt like that chemistry really did build over time.
Yep, I'm full agreement with you there. It definitely did not. That wasn't Sully.
That was Mark Wahlberg.
That was Mark Wahlberg, just being Mark Wahlberg. However, that post-credit scene at the end, still Mark Wahlberg, and it could have just been the fact that he finally looked like Sully because he had the shirt and he had the mustache and he finally had the cigar and put it in his thing. I think the relationship was warranted at that point because it's the end. It's what they already have a little bit more of a history than what we saw at the end of the film. So although it's still not Sully, the type of relationship is there where like he's the older guy that got his back, kind of staying behind and saving his butt while Nathan Drake really gets in the nitty gritty of things, which is what he was doing in the middle of a bar by himself. So definitely got better as it went on, but again, still not really Sully. But I'm in agreement with you. It definitely got better as it went on.
I mean, very small cameo of the Naughty Dog logo.
Yeah, and the
suitcase,
or
briefcase.
Yeah, I loved it. Okay, let's see what I have here. Puzzle solving. They had puzzle solving in the film. I was afraid it was just going to be actiony and not too much going on, but they had the thing with the crosses. While Mark Wahlberg as Sully was up doing his thing, trying to find where the other thing
Papa
was,
John's.
and then the Papa John's, which I thought was a weird product placement at first. But then as it progressed, I just thought it was funnier that way. It was just happened to be at a Papa John's because the entrance to the other thing was at like a club, But apparently that's just how it is when you have like the industrialization of like old things. Like they need to use those areas and they just commercialize it and all that stuff. So it makes sense. But it's just funny because that's out of place for what we know in Uncharted.
Right.
But what's I gotta say? But yeah, the puzzle solving, the thing with the keys, putting them together to do the other thing, and then do the thing on the map where he says the two dots and he puts the keys together.
That was so ridiculous.
I'm like, how do you figure that out? But he figured it out. That's cool.
It's still better than Star Wars.
And I know they can't elaborate too long because in the game, sometimes you'd be stuck there for a bit, like looking at your journal and doing all this. So I knew that
they had the journal.
Yeah. For the sake of the film, they couldn't spend too much time on the puzzle solving, but I'm happy it was in there. So now one thing that the Uncharted games have been kind of known for, at least if I'm not mistaken, since 2. I don't think 1 did it. But every single one of those games started out, when the game begins, it starts out in the middle of something crazy. So 2 starts, all of a sudden Drake's awake and he's on the train that's flipped up and he's hanging, he's got to start. 4 starts in the middle of when all the ships are coming at him and he's on the boat and everything. Right. So he starts out in the middle of the thing. I forgot where 3, but I'm pretty sure 3 started out somewhere too. This did the same thing. It started out him, so they kept the same thing. It starts out in the middle of something. You get to see it. It ends and it cuts back and it goes back in time. And then eventually you make your way back up to that moment in the game or this time in the film. And they redo it, but they shortened that scene up a little bit. And I think that's what I have there for the positives. Anything else on your end?
No, let's get negative.
Oh, Jesus.
I got
no surprise there. All right.
Why did they kill off Antonio Banderas? He was surprisingly great, and we got so little of him. What a waste. And then the way they kill him, while shocking, then you just see like the little red Sharpie on his neck.
It's the Sharpie.
There's no blood or anything. And like didn't he have like a family history with that treasure?
Yeah, something else.
And then it's just, that didn't matter.
Yeah. No.
So like bringing it, like what was the point?
It just made Brad out because the villain, like more of an imposing threat, but she was never really shown as too imposing. Like she pulled the Nadine part off good while she was kind of a force to be reckoned with while she was at the auction. She kind of handled herself pretty well. She was fighting with with Mark Wahlberg for a while there and was kind of holding her own, but eventually I just love that he threw her as the way to break the glass, which was funny. But besides that, she was kind of like failing at her job a bit, which is why he put Chloe on the case as well.
But I mean, he had her on there to begin with.
Right. But
it just felt like they were trying to build her up, but like you had the man kill his father. You had him at the it almost felt like it just was done for the twist, and instead of
kind of came out of nowhere. It's shocking, like I said. Everything gasps.
Keep him longer. I would have kept him longer.
Yeah, a little bit more. maybe have like something at the end where they were like both trying to leave, and then she betrays him at the last second. Yeah. But that was kind of quick. But whatever. Okay. I mentioned it before. The music just needed some work. I needed some more flutes.
You care about video game music all of a sudden?
When it's Uncharted. You know what I'm saying? Because Uncharted has its very specific
Felipe
sound.
is known for mocking me. I'm telling the audience. He's known for mocking me for my love of video game music.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's a weird one for me to talk about. Because I don't have too much to say. I just know it didn't sound like Uncharted, with the exception of its theme. I was kind of looking... I have it listed as things that were bad and things that could improve. I guess we can kind of mix it together because ultimately not everything was terrible.
Right.
But I was kind of looking for a supernatural kind of twist or at least a fake out like they did in 2. No.
3,
yeah. Something, but nothing.
I was thinking, I'm like, how's that? Are they going to tie that in at all?
But I feel like, I guess it kind of makes sense. They can save that for the next film. Like, they already kind of did the high budget thing with the pirate ships and the plane and everything. You know, what else are you going to surprise audiences with more of that? You will have more of that, but now you can potentially have...
Blue men.
You can have blue men eating
from 2.
Sap. Whatever. So, okay. So that's just one thing. I was kind of waiting for it. It never happened. I was like, oh, okay. I still think it needed a little bit more action, more gunplay. The kill count was surprisingly low. Yeah, for Nathan Drake's side of things.
So that's something that I did put as one of my negatives. This is where I feel like the movie failed a little bit. Like, one of the parts that I've always loved about Uncharted is there's a line in the second one where the villain like remarks like, you know, how many guys did you kill to get to me and get here? Like, who are you
just
to
today? He said.
Yeah. So
that was Zarovich.
There's even like a trophy in Uncharted 4, I believe, where it's called Little Narrative Dissonance, where if you kill 1,000 people, you get a trophy. And they could have chosen to like make something complicated and address the fact that, you know, he is killing people.
Right.
And nope. I don't think he ever shoots anyone and they die. Which in reality, like, is Uncharted not like Indiana Jones / John Wick?
Yeah, the thing is with at least to not get on too much of a tangent here with the games, I think that the parts with all the people that he's shooting, which is close to 1,000, and by the time your game session's done, I think that's just filler for the game.
It is.
I don't think it's so much for the story because
they address it in Uncharted 2.
They do. But he didn't specifically say the amount of people you were killing because, Nathan Drake did have to kill a whole bunch of people to do it. But the exact amount, I think, is exaggerated for the player just for them to get enjoyment out of what they're doing. Yeah, of
course.
But I get what you're saying. But yeah, I was kind of hoping just a little bit more. I mean, I don't want it to be a murderer. You know, he's still supposed to be likable.
And that could have made it.
He's not really more a murderer, morally. Though. He's kind of killing people to.
He kills a lot of people,
but they're in his way. They're bad people usually.
Yes,
you know
he kills those guards. I mean, they're all fathers probably.
Yeah, well, whatever. They shouldn't be in the business. So, so yeah, that's just something of note. Not a huge problem. Again, when you're trying to keep him as a likable person, but something of note. Now, there was some pretty convenient storytelling. There was the fact that Braddock just happens to glance through her what is it? Telescope?
Yeah.
And just happens to see Nate driving by on his boat. And just like, oh.
Yeah, and
that's how they find him.
How did Chloe steal before she double crossed, she stole a cross, which was part of a 2-set, so double cross.
Oh god.
But before she double crossed, I don't know how she stole that from his backpack without him knowing. And then how did they get in the car to get on the plane? It's just a lot of like, you didn't see it. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's just, that's how good she is. She can steal it just like
she can steal it. Not even getting close.
Yeah.
Ghost Chloe. But something that did you have any more to add? Like moments where you felt it's the movie.
There was one, but I forgot. I'm looking at my notes, people, and I just forget to write it down. There was 2 of them that I thought about specifically. I just like, oh, that's kind of convenient. That's how that worked out.
Well, maybe it'll come to you because I'm going to bring this up. Why did we have a shirtless scene?
Because Tom Holland is getting all them young girls to swoon right now.
I guess, but they already paid for the movie at that point.
I think he also not so much for him, but he's he's a smaller person.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little on the shorter side. He's got that baby face. You know, he still looks very young.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he's really trying his best with his roles from now on to look a little bit more adult. And him getting jacked is one way to probably fix that illusion. And him working as a bartender, you know, which is an adult job.
Well, did the movie have the line in the trailer? It's like, you're a little young to be a bartender.
Yeah.
And was that in there?
It was in the trailer. I didn't.
But it wasn't
that
in the movie.
film. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Which, that's weird.
It happens all the time. Stuff like that happens. But
I guess I
don't
never
know.
noticed it, but
they just needed something. It's a Hollywood movie.
it just didn't feel. I was like,
I mean,
is
if
this
I looked
Uncharted?
that good, I'd be like,
yeah,
hey.
but it
Be
just
like, hey, there's no shirtless scenes. Like, hey, you think you can just have me work it out real quick?
it felt like I wasn't
was
watching
unnecessary.
Uncharted.
It was unnecessary, but it's fine. Drake has never been with the shirt off.
No,
Think about that.
no, he has some tight clothing. He loves his little shirts with the buttons, like the 3 buttons on the
Little
top.
hairs poking out, but whatever.
He enjoys like very skin tight wetsuits.
Mm-hmm. But he likes that shirt on. Sadly for us fans. Anyways.
What I was not a fan of, and this is, I guess, my last point. This is the problem with video game movies, is that there's an established fiction. There's an established storyline. And instead of like enhancing it or like taking something and adding like a new, like interesting point to add, just instead of adding something interesting, they just change all the characters and that's not how Sully and Nathan Drake meet.
Right.
That's not what happened with his brother in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He sure doesn't meet Chloe in that manner. So
we
it's
don't
just
know.
like,
We never saw him met Chloe.
yeah, he does. And then,
We've never seen it.
I believe
with her.
you're correct. Yes.
Yeah. So to me, that was fine.
Okay.
The meeting with Chloe, that's fine.
But
I do believe that he met Chloe through Sully.
Okay.
But in what way? Probably not this way, but who knows?
It's just, so is this like an alternate timeline? Like, how am I supposed to like?
I think it's just
think
a
about
retelling.
It's just, I don't know.
It's its own version. They have to change some stories to make.
But those games are movies anyway.
Yeah. I mean, would you really want everything the same again? If you already
Well,
saw
that's
it?
why I'm saying, like, take what's established and add something new or an interesting piece. But instead I was just like, okay, this isn't Uncharted.
Okay.
That's okay. Wait, we didn't talk about probably the best positive.
I was waiting for it.
Okay. What is it? What is the best
The
positive?
cameo?
Yeah.
Of course.
Nathan Fillion showed up.
Fillion?
I'm just joking. Because that was, I think, something that was coming up with the casting.
No.
Way back.
No, man. Nolan North.
Mm-hmm.
Reprised his role, and I'm happy that it was more than just like a little bump on the street.
It was more than just like a little Stan Lee, which those are great too, but he had like...
Yeah, he's like, something happened to me. Something like that happened to me once. I'm like, yeah, it did. That was Uncharted 3.
My sister was with me, and even she, not knowing the games at all,
Okay.
she was like, is that supposed to be someone? Like, she knew, it was like, okay, there's something with that guy. Like, that's like, she immediately knew there had to be something.
I thought she watched Pretty Little Liars. And she
Oh, God.
he's in it. He's the dad. Or a dad.
One dad.
Yeah.
But they played it well enough that you could tell, like, there was more to this.
Yeah.
If you knew.
They would make people like, I gotta look that. Who is that? You know? So, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's, I did realize that we forgot that. I'm like, let me wait till we're done with the negatives. And
No, I was happy.
So
That might have been the best part of the movie for me.
I knew it was gonna happen.
I didn't.
What?
I just, maybe I just,
no, I knew
my
it was
expectations
going
were
to.
not
It was,
that high.
there was a really random shot of Nolan North and Tom Holland meeting, but I'm like, why are they meeting on a beach? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm like, clearly they're filming something.
Okay.
You know, and it could have just been a promo, but I'm like, they're not gonna waste that. They're gonna throw him in there in some way. So I knew.
Okay.
But I didn't know it was gonna be as long and as good as it was. It was great.
It wasn't on the level of the recent Spider-Man movie with one character that you and I are both
I mean, that's
big fans of, but I was definitely incredibly giddy as that was that really had to have been the high point for me.
Okay.
Like, I'm excited. I was just so happy for him.
To me, it was Tom Holland as Nathan Drake,
Shirtless.
shirtless. Yeah, that was first. Second, was him putting on the holster finally with the
Yeah,
music kicking in.
Yeah.
Yes. Finally, there he is. Kind of. The young version.
Yeah.
But okay.
Did you think the lady at the bar at the beginning was Elena?
Yeah, I was like, don't make Elena drunk. She's not a partier. Like, don't do that. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
Maybe the whole second movie is like him meeting different blonde women, and you're just like,
just a fake out.
It's Elena. Just constant fake outs.
And there's one that they call her like something else, like, oh, Trixie. She's like, yeah, but Elena's is really my real name. I'm like, oh, well, that's Elena the whole time. No.
Is that not similar to Mary Jane in
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what I got that from.
Okay.
Another Tom Holland film.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna transition with what was the biggest mistake this film had. There was no Elena. No Elena Fisher, who is our favorite character in the Uncharted franchise.
I like Chloe.
You don't like her as much as Elena.
I like Elena. I mean, you don't like Elena that much. You chose Kratos on the beach over her.
My God. I didn't. If you actually listen to that, people, I did not make a choice. I just said, think about the other option. That's it. That's all I said.
You made your choice.
I did not make
You wanted to win that debate. So
there is nothing chosen there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so I think that after this film, they're gonna if what the post should we talk about the post credits quickly?
It's just he has Eddie Rogers' gun for some reason.
Yeah, and he mentioned Roman or something, which is Roman Navarro, one of the guys. I don't know. Clearly, they're setting up the fact that they're going to jump into Uncharted 1's storyline. However they adapt that, I guess remains to be seen. But
isn't it Gabriel Roman? Anyway, whatever.
Maybe that's what it was.
That doesn't matter.
What was Navarro's first name?
I don't know. It's in the multiplayer skins. Whatever. That's the only time you...
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, they're clearly setting that up. Finally got Sully with the mustache, like
Which
I said earlier.
They could have just... Why did they have to wait for that? Like, there's no point.
Because they're finally caught up.
They could have just started.
He didn't have to have his mustache all his life, even though he did in Uncharted 3 when he was younger. But anyways... And he was wearing the white and red tee, which was in the initial concept art for Uncharted and all that. So, perfect. Everything was setting up, the all that. We need to talk about who's going to be Elena. And the eventual Uncharted 2, because this film has made some money.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not talking about it as a franchise, so they will make an Uncharted 2.
Okay.
I asked you before a meeting today to choose 3 actresses that you think could play Elena in this new version of Uncharted, this new take. Because I had my choices.
Get Emily Rose.
That's my number one choice. Number one choice is Emily Rose. Will not work for this tone that they're setting, and obviously younger. It won't match Tom Holland. Tom Holland is a younger looking face, so we need to have someone that kind of matches that.
Off at the air, you did mention Cersei Lannister's actress would be a phenomenal Elena Fisher.
I did not mention that at all.
I just thought the audience should know about your recommendation.
Okay, well, you ruined the post credits for this podcast.
Okay.
Anyways, so I have not heard your 3 choices.
Mm-hmm. I've not heard yours.
I've not heard mine. So. Who do you want to start?
I think you start first.
All 3 or just
one at a time? One at a time. Okay. It's okay. Wait. Pick your. You have do you have like a first, second, and third place?
No.
Well, pick it now. Who's your third place person?
Third place, Florence Pugh. Is that who you have?
That's my second place.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's my second place.
Only because you made me choose. I didn't think about it.
So who's Florence Pugh for the people not?
Florence Pugh has come into recent popularity. Most for what's her name? Freaking
Yelena.
Yelena, but what?
Elena Yelena.
Oh,
she don't even need to like.
Never mind. First choice.
Yeah.
No, she's in the Black Widow film, and she's playing Black Widow's sister. Mm-hmm. So Yelena. Whatever.
Maximoff. Okay.
Maximoff. Yeah. So anyways, so she's obviously in the Hawkeye show, she played a more prominent role there as well too, So but I came to know her as the chick from Midsummer.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh geez.
And to me, I think that's specific. Because the thing is, one of the reasons I have her as my third is I don't want this to sound bad. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she's way too pretty. To like, but only because when you Google her, she's always like in this really nice makeup, smoky eyes, everything. And I'm like, that's ain't Elena. But then, well, you can just take that off and then it's Elena. So then I thought about it. I'm like, oh yeah, in Midsummer, she was just like a normal girl. I'm like, that works.
I'll have to go back and see. Right?
Yeah, it's just a normal chick. So that is one of my choices. Okay. So then that eliminates one of yours too. Yeah. So then your turn. Who's your third then,
I'm going to say the name wrong. I don't know. Kiernan Shipka?
That was my first choice. Oh my God. Sabrina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the new Sabrina series that's on Netflix, everybody. That is who I have as well, I didn't really think about it who's first or second place, but that was the first person I thought of. So I guess that's my first choice. I don't know. So Kiernan Shipka, right? Is that who you got? Shipka?
Anyway, that's my second place.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can put some good pictures up here or whatever. Maybe I'll edit Elena's like traditional hair and just terribly put it on.
I also I added her because something I thought that would just work with her is she can play comedic as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of the Sabrina show. I tried. I didn't like it as much as I would want to, but I have seen her in other roles.
None of it that was her fault, I felt.
No, of course not.
But there's in the show Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, she plays a character for an episode.
Yeah.
And it's
she was like a roommate or something.
Sister.
Okay.
It's a role I come to like think about and like still giggle about.
Okay. Yeah, and she's got the young look. She is young, but she's like a smaller.
I did look her up, and she's like maybe 2 years younger than Holland.
Yeah, so it kind of works out. Okay, so then that's who you have. My last choice I have here.
It better be mine.
I don't think so.
Because we matched.
I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right or say it in the right. Hopefully, I even wrote it down right. I got Haley Lou Richardson.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. If I had a picture, it'd be easier. Did you see the movie 6 Feet Apart?
No.
Okay.
I saw the movie Buried.
Did you see the movie Buried?
With Ryan Reynolds?
She's not in that one. I know which movie you did. You saw Split.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not the main chick.
Okay, tell me this girl's name again.
Haley Lou Richardson.
Okay.
She's in a lot of stuff. And every time I pop in, I'm like, hey, that's the girl from Split. But in reality, she's known for a lot more stuff.
I got you.
You got to pull it up? Let me see. No, she got the right person. Yeah. So another youthful, smaller, kind of.
It's just weird because like Tom Holland just feels too young to play Nathan Drake. So now we're like these characters.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what we're in. So that's who I have in mind.
All right,
what you think?
I could see it a little bit. Like if we're playing like this younger version of them. Then my brain resets to like, wait, that's not Elena. So I know. It's a little hard for my brain to adjust to, but they got Mark Wahlberg to be Sully, so the rules are out the window.
All right, what's your last choice?
Last choice, Catherine Newton.
Now let me do some.
She's in movies you might remember, Paranormal Activity 4.
Oh God!
And she plays the main girl in the Pokemon live action movie.
Oh, that chick?
Yeah, and she's even a kind of reporter in that movie.
That's true.
So she's got the reporting blood in her acting repertoire.
I could see that. Yeah.
So Catherine Newton would have been my number one choice.
Oh, really?
My number one.
Oh, she's the girl from Freaky. I've been trying to get that as a movie night.
Okay.
That movie Freaky. I didn't know that was her. Okay, I can see it now.
Like maybe put this picture up. Like I could see. Like,
that's the one from Freaky.
Okay, yeah. I could see an Elena there.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta watch that film. Hopefully it's good.
Look at it. Okay, put that picture up. I see Elena there.
All right, I can see it.
So I win. That to me. So make sure in the comments.
My choices were.
Make sure in the comments to say who chose better.
Yeah, in the comments.
Even though we had two of the same.
Yeah, two of the same. Who would you want to see as Elena? Comment below and let me know why you think I am correct.
Or if you're on the audio only version, then go to the YouTube channel, Educated Discussions, and you can comment that there. Okay. And like the video.
Yeah, do all that stuff. Follow us, all that stuff. Oh. The follow things will be here. I set that up right. Anyways, so hopefully Hollywood execs that are listening to this podcast will take into account what we have to say. Clearly, they're not doing anything with their lives, so they can easily make their room for this film, and it would make it a lot better. We need some Elena to add some levity to this Nathan Drake character.
If she's even in the second one,
she will be in it. She's got to be in it. Now, I'd love to see her a little bit more focus on the camera, like the reporter part, because I feel like they could expand on that
That's
a little
why you
bit
get the
more.
Pokemon girl. She's freaky. According
I
to
guess
you.
so. Yeah, I guess she's freaky. Yeah, but okay. Well, that's it. Anything else to say? Any closing
just
thoughts?
thank you everybody for listening, and don't forget you can seek us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and really anywhere you find your podcasts other than Pandora.
Yeah.
I said podcast, didn't
Yeah.
I? Anyway, you can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, and the Tic Tac.
Some would say we're the greatest fortune out there, and you can seek us out.
Nathan Drake would try to find us.
You would try to find us, and
that's how great of a fortune we are.
yeah, hopefully he doesn't find us and ruin it all.
And shoot
like
us
he
in the
always
head.
does. Yeah.
But movie version doesn't shoot people in the head.
No, he'll make me a drink.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. I just have a quick PSA here. Keep it educated.
educated.
Oh my gosh, it'll get worse than that.
This will match.
Like who we have as a limit. There's got to be at least one that we get right.
Okay. It's only so many blonde women in the industry, right?
They can dye their hair. One of the ones I have isn't normally a blonde.
Oh, Cersei Lannister.
Cersei Lannister?
That'd be good, Lena.
No, would not.
Why not?
She's like 46.
Time jump.
Time jump. Tom Holland ain't got a time jump.